Welcome back to Families in Action on your local hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm Cary Quashen with my co-host, the Silver Fox, and Michael. We have some guests here, and what I'm going to do is let's do this. First of all, I want to talk about contracts. When we're young, we all have a set of contracts, right? When I grow up, I want to be a dancer, a fighter, a model, whatever the deal is. By the way, you both can be models if you want to.
Stop.
Aren't they very gorgeous?
Well, they
Look,
are.
I mean,
They're lovely ladies.
Yeah, you got to watch this show on Time Warner. I know it's on Time Warner every Monday at 4 o'clock, channel 20. Check your
YouTube.
other local station, YouTube. You can watch it because I want you to see what they really look like.
Yeah.
I mean, you would never know that they had issues.
No, you wouldn't.
But when we're young, we have contracts. When I grow up, here's what I want to be, here's what I want to do. And then we have another set of contracts I'll never do. Remember those?
Mm-hmm.
And almost everybody, it's the same thing. I won't smoke because it kills you. I'm not going to use drugs because I don't want to use it, or, and blah, 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 blah. So what happened? Olivia, you're right here. Start. What happened? You were walking down the street one day, and a bong fell in your hands and said, "Smoke me." That's not what happened.
No.
Is it?
Well, actually, I didn't even really start with weed. It was alcohol.
Okay.
That was my first experience with anything. I was I'd say 14, maybe 13, and I really don't know why. I just decided. My friend, she was like, "Oh, I have a bunch of alcohol. Let's drink." It was just me and my girlfriends.
Was it a sleepover?
Yeah.
That's usually what happens.
Yeah.
Parents, are you listening to this? Because that's what happens.
We were just up in a room,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alcohol cabinets.
And she knew where her parents kept the alcohol.
Yeah. So then we drank, and that was the first time I really got drunk, and I was actually blacked out that night. And I woke up the next day, my parents were calling me.
Blackout, for people who don't know, means you don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember from a certain point. I can't remember the rest of the night. And then my parents actually found out somehow, I think, and then I was in trouble, and then I was okay, I won't do it anymore.
Right.
It was stupid. And then so I didn't do it anymore, really. And then as I got into high school, it was probably freshman year, summer, sophomore year, everyone was drinking. It was totally a thing, and I was like, all right, well, if everyone else does it, why can't I do it? So then I started drinking with all my friends, and it was the weekends, and
Right.
it wasn't even the weekends, actually. It was just parties. We would go to parties, and then I would drink there, and I'd always have rides somehow. We'd hang out with older people and get rides everywhere.
It's a lot easier for girls to get it than guys.
Yeah,
Let's face it.
definitely.
Yeah.
I literally didn't know have to do anything. It was
Yeah, just smile and here
yeah, and there you go. It's at your fingertips. And then so I was drinking here and there, and then the first time I ever smoked pot, it was I asked my mom if I could go to a Halloween party, and I was like, there's gonna be alcohol there and everything. I told her
Right.
everything that was gonna be there, and I told her I wouldn't do anything. I would come straight home. I would check in with her at curfew.
And parents, we want to trust.
Yeah, and so I told her everything, and she was like, no, you can't go because the parents were allowing the alcohol there. And I was so mad. I was like, oh my God, well, whatever. I'll just go trick-or-treating with my friends. And then I texted my friends. I was like, I knew my friend that was total stoner, and I was like, smoke me out. I want to smoke weed for the first time. So she was all excited. She's like, all right, let's go. So we were trick-or-treating, and then we went to a park, and I smoked for my first time. And usually people don't get high their first time.
Right.
I definitely know I was high, and I knew there was something different, and I was totally but I acted completely normal. When I'm drunk, I can't
Right.
keep it together, but when I'm high, it's I feel completely normal. And I went back with my parents. I went back to my house. I was putting Halloween decorations with my dad, putting them away, and everything was normal. And the next morning, my parents drug tested me. They bring home the dip tests, drug tested me, and I was definitely in a lot of trouble.
Yes, they kind of
Yeah,
figured it
they
out,
figured
didn't they?
something out.
Oh,
I was
you thought being
how?
normal really wasn't.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, what do you mean I was totally acting normal? And they're like, well, we wanted to trust you, but they knew because I was so mad about not going to the party that I was gonna go off and do my own thing. So, but then after that, I just really didn't smoke. I was like, whatever, I don't need this, it's fine. But I picked up drinking a lot, really picked it up. And it was every weekend I would drink, and get blackout drunk, and then go home the next morning and like with the worst hangover. And
Once you have a blackout, you're allergic to alcohol.
yeah, it was bad, and like I would just like, and I couldn't even build up a tolerance. I would just throw up every time. Like it was awful.
So
I
let me ask you
like
something. You drank, you throw up. Why'd you keep doing it?
I don't know. I guess it was for the feeling, like, and everyone was doing it, and I was like, oh my God, I'm a better person when I'm drunk. Like, I'm so much more fun. It's like my liquid confidence.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm chilling.
Uh-huh.
So that's what it felt like. And then, so I just picked that up a lot, and then, it started becoming like a bigger issue. It would be like spring break, my friend and I, it would be like during the day. Like we would just drink like every day. Like no one else would be with us. It would just be us two. And we would just drink, and like to me it seemed completely normal.
Right.
But like looking back at it now, it's like that's not normal at all. And then like my parents never really knew like that I was drinking that much, and I don't think they knew I was drinking at all.
Right.
And I would be like sleeping over at my friend's house. I'd be like, oh yeah, I'm spending the night here, and they'd be like, okay, whatever. And I would go out and stay out the whole night,
Right.
and get drunk, and then come back to like whoever had an open house.
We hear that over and over again. Parents, I hope you're listening. I know yours is.
Yes, hi Dad.
Game over.
But yeah, like that's how it was, and I would just like build up lies, and like I was lying to my parents like over and over and over.
How'd you feel about that?
Yeah.
When I was using it and everything, I felt like it's whatever. Like
Right.
what they don't know won't hurt them. So it wasn't like anything. I was just like, I can lie so easy. It's easy.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I got caught up smoking weed again. I got like crossfaded for the first time. Crossfade is like when you drink and then you smoke on top
Right.
of that. And when I did that, I was extremely paranoid. Like I hated it so much. I was so terrified. I was like crying and like freaking out. It was the worst experience of my whole life. And I was terrified, and the next morning I was like, okay, my mom doesn't know, like, because the whole time when I was thinking, I was like, my mom knows everything. Like subconsciously I like knew she knew. And then I went home and everything was fine, and then like a couple days later my mom decided to randomly drug test me, and so I got caught up with that again. Like I told her like I smoked and everything.
Right.
Grounded again, went through this whole process, and then I started going to the action meetings on Tuesday nights. They're really awesome. You guys should go. And then like I really enjoyed that. Like I was hanging out with like all these like younger kids my age, and like they were all like had to be sober too, and like clean and everything. I was like, all right, like
Alternative peer groups.
Yeah.
That's what makes it all.
So then like I started doing that, and everything was going really well. And then my parents just stopped. Like I could figure out ways out of drug tests, and I was like, oh, this is like I was thinking of ways of how I could get away with it.
Right.
And so finally, like I started smoking weed a lot. I left drinking alone for a while, and then I started smoking like every day, like 7 a.m. It's when it started, and it would go downhill from there. And then
So you really were in pretty big trouble.
yeah, I was like I couldn't stop. I had to like keep smoking every day.
And for people who think marijuana is not addicting, you pull your head out of your know whats.
Yeah, it's very addictive.
Yeah.
So then I got caught up with that, because I always get caught somehow. That's always what happens. And I became like extremely, like, coming off weed actually is very depressing. Like you get like, it's like, because you feel it's such an illusion of happiness. So when you're coming off of it, it's like, why I can't feel that happy anymore.
Fall into a funk and a depression.
And so little did I know I'd been like depressed this whole time, and that's why I was using and drinking. I didn't have confidence. I didn't have any of that. So drinking was my liquid confidence, and the weed was my happiness, and it was all fake. So I started like becoming extremely depressed, and one night everything built up, and I was like, I just want to sleep. Like for a long time I just needed sleep. So I took like a bunch of NyQuil, and I just fell asleep. My mom found me the next morning, and she was freaking out. She saw all the capsules on the table, and she was like crying, and she rushed me to the hospital. And Cary was there, woken up very early in the morning. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. And he was like, you have 2 choices. You can go to a psych ward.
You almost killed yourself.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, psych wards are like my worst nightmare. He's like, or you can go to the ranch. And I had to like convince him that I wanted to go to the ranch, not the psych ward. So I finally ended up there.
And that you wanted to live, not die.
Yeah, and then I wanted to live and not die.
And that you wanted to get clean.
Exactly. So, and at first I was like, no, like the first like week in the ranch, I was like, I'm not gonna be clean as soon as I get out of here. Like this, they can't control me. I was like in that rebellious little like, they can't tell me what to do. So I like was putting up with it, and then we started doing groups. I actually met Sid was my roommate in the ranch, and became like extremely close within like the first night. We were like the same person. It was insane.
We stayed up all night.
Oh yeah, all night,
It's
every
terrible.
night, talking about just everything.
Sometimes the best therapy is between you guys
Yeah.
instead of the counselors.
And like the first weeks, it was like the people that were in the ranch the first like 2 weeks that I was like all of us together before they all left, it was like we were like a family.
Yep.
And like I
We
knew
were.
one of my friends that was in there. I'd known him my whole life, so I felt like extremely comfortable. And
It's a safe place.
yeah, it felt like a family. And so like everything was cool, and like I started like wanting to build it. I was going to meetings, like we go to meetings every night there, like 12-step meetings, and like I really enjoyed it. And I met my first sponsor at one of the meetings, and we really hit it off. And everyone started leaving. Like Sid was leaving, my friend Austin was like, everybody was leaving, and I felt like, oh my god, I'm gonna be so alone. But like my sponsor helped me through it, and like all the counselors there and everyone helped me through it. They're like, it's only temporary, like you're gonna get out and see him. So I finally got through that 30 days, and everything was like a lot. I mean, nothing was perfect, obviously, but like
Life has its challenges.
Yeah.
I mean, the bottom line is, somebody asked me, I've been sober a long time, and they said, besides the program, how do you do it? I said, I ran out of excuses. And they went, huh? I said, I have no excuse to use anymore, period. For what?
And it sounds like you were very fortunate that you didn't cross the line and go to harder drugs. It would have been very easy in this situation.
You know what? Alcohol is, to me, one of the hardest drugs there is. A lot of people lose their lives over alcohol, but I get what you're saying. And it's the breaking that contract thing.
Yeah.
First you drink a little, you smoke a little, and then you just kind of eventually move on. So it's really dangerous. I'm really proud of you. How much time sober do you got?
I think 70 days.
Very
yeah.
cool.
71, something like that.
Yay. Sydney, tell us.
Boy, okay. So, Liv and I are very opposite, by the way. My first time, I remember, my friend was like, hey, it's the start of summer, like, we are no longer those freshmen, like, let's go to a party. I was like, we won't get kicked out, let's go to a party. And I went to this party not expecting to do anything, of course. I was like, I'm just gonna hang out and meet people, right?
Right.
That's why you go to parties, you meet people. I then took 10 shots of Bombay and don't remember the rest of my night.
That was your first time. You're lucky you lived through 10
no,
shots
it
of
was
Bombay.
insane. Everyone was like, take some chasers. I was like, who takes chasers? Like, this is my first time drinking. Didn't know what I was saying. Point is,
So you went right
I went
for the
all
gusto.
out.
Hard in the
I
paint.
went all out, and it was insane.
Right.
It was insane. But I just remember waking up at my friend's house, and I was like, sick, very sick. And I was like, I will never drink again. That was terrible. What's the point of drinking? You don't even remember your night. I was like, how do you guys, what's the point of doing that? Like, I don't get it. So I never drank again. But then I was like, you know what? People who smoke, they seem just really chill. Like, they remember their nights. Maybe I should just smoke instead. So I started smoking, like, I don't know, it was like once a month, and then it turned into multiple times a day. And at that point, it was like I liked weed more than everybody else,
Right.
more than anybody.
So you definitely know you had that addictive personality.
Definitely. Like, my day, I remember if I didn't smoke in the morning, if you talk to me, I will be your worst person. Like, I did not want to deal with anything. School is terrible. Like, if I wasn't high, I did not want to be at school. After school, I'd be high. Later in the day, I'd be high. Like, I didn't go to sleep until I smoked.
Yeah.
It was just a cycle that I was so
that
used to.
non-addictive drug, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that really gets me crazy when some people say it's just pot. I watch your children, lives get destroyed by smoking too much pot.
That's all I did, and
I know.
here I was.
It's horrible.
Yeah, and I was just in terrible situations, like, but at the time I was like, man, this is great. This is what high school's about.
What do you mean by terrible situations?
Yeah.
Situations like super illegal, like
Right. Dangerous spots.
dangerous things. Like I did not sleep for nights, like just because I was like, yeah, this is fun. Like, what? I need to sleep. But
When you came into the ranch, you were angry.
Oh my God.
I mean, you were
Okay.
pissed off. I had to grab a sledgehammer and break down a couple of walls, didn't I?
well, first of all, the way I was brought there, I was very upset. I had just smoked for what it was the last time. I didn't know that. I was
I
just
did.
watching a movie.
I did.
Yeah, I know you did. I was just watching a movie. And then all of a sudden these people came in my room and they were like, I thought I knew them, like my brain, I was like, oh my God, what if these are my family members? I should say hi. So I stood up and I was like, hi. And they're like, put your hands behind your back. I was like, what? I started freaking out. And then next thing I know, I was taken to a ranch. Changed my life. Yeah, handcuffed to a ranch.
Changed your life? What does
Changed
that
my
mean?
life. Well, it just... Oh, yeah, the relationship with my parents, that's the biggest one. But changed my life as in I was no longer... Like, weed was no longer the main factor in my life. Like, everything went around that.
You are so different. I mean, you were walking around, you had low self-esteem in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
You were angry as they get. I mean, you're a
always
different
mad.
person. I mean, you're just smiling. You could see the pressures off of you, and you just look happier.
Yeah, because it's very hard to keep up with your lies when you're high all the time. It's like, I don't even... Was that what I said, or was that the other night? I don't know.
Here's the parents.
terrible.
For kids, let's talk kids for a second. It is impossible for a kid or an adult to flunk at school, have problems, fight with your parents, and be happy, and have to lie all the time. They can pretend it. They can be okay when they're around their buddies, but what the bottom line is, when you turn out the lights at night and it's just you, all that stuff haunts you. And the drugs might work for a minute, but it stops. So that's why now you get clean, you take the drugs away, and you could see the shine in your guys' eyes. It's nice.
Yeah.
Really.
And Sydney, what do you think would have happened to you had you not gone and through action? I mean, you were not on a road to happiness.
No, I was on the road of like abandoning my family. Like, I was getting ready to run out of my house. I was so sick of them. Like, I really did not. They were my least favorite people. Don't get me wrong. I did not like them. I did not like my situation I was in. I was really ready to just leave, but thanks to the program, like, I got back and it was like, I was like, I don't have a reason to leave. Why? Yeah.
You guys, you both of you, I mean, you did a whole lot of work at that ranch. The family stuff is incredible, how it's changed. So your parents, I'm going to do you for a minute. Your parents are probably listening, or they will listen. So what do you want to say to them?
I just want to say, like, as much as I fought that entire situation, I'm really happy that it worked out the way it did. And I've always believed everything happens for a reason. And if it took me going through that entire, like, few years of just
Craziness.
crazy to get to where I am now, then I'm very thankful for that.
What do you want to say to your parents?
Oh, I love you guys.
Aw.
You taught me that one.
Huh?
You taught me that one.
You know why? Because it's hard to say. But when you say it and you mean it, it changes everything.
It does.
You know how you feel about yourself and everything else, and life just becomes just a little bit better. Because you know what, at the end of the day, all that stuff's out there, but what we really have at the end of the day is ourselves and our family. And our families need to come first, period, no matter what. And you made your family a priority, and I'll tell you what, your family definitely made you a priority, and they love you lots.
Yes.
You're getting a little teary-eyed, huh? A little bit. I'm watching.
I've never cried. Let's cry.
Okay.
I don't cry.
I think I have a picture of you crying, but no.
Not me.
Yeah, it was an imposter stranger from outer space. So, Liv,
Yes.
how does that, when you went in because you took a whole bunch of pills and didn't want to wake up. And now, and you did 30 days and you came out and you got, what, 60, 70 days sober, or whatever you said. How you feel now?
Much better. Not as depressed.
Wonder why.
Yeah.
No, really. What do you think it is?
Obviously, I mean, because I'm not using, and like I've built up more of a self-esteem. I could say I still struggle with it a lot.
Of course,
But-
but that's just normal stuff.
Yeah.
Adolescent, but not just adolescent.
Yeah, but you know, it's getting much better, and like I'm having more open communication with my family and everything. So
You're not walking in a fog. You
Yeah.
don't have to lie.
yeah, it's so great not lying.
Yeah. And you did a ton of work with your mom and dad, and so they're listening. What do you want to say to them?
That I love them and I appreciate.
Talk to them.
I love you guys, and I appreciate everything you did for me and have done for me. So
Very cool.
thanks.
Aren't they cool?
Absolutely. I just, I keep sitting here thinking about how dangerously close both of them came to literally flushing their lives down the toilet. I mean, look at them now. I asked them before the show what they were interested in doing when they got out of school, and they've got a couple of ideas, and both of them are interested in doing some great stuff. And none of that would have been possible had you kept on being on the road you were on.
And we're gonna hear exactly what their goals are when we come back from break. But I'll tell you what, you guys are why I do what I do, why everyone at Action does what they do. So, very, very proud of you. And we're going on break. This is Families in Action on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back to Families in Action on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Again, I'm Cary Quashen, along with my co-host, the Silver Fox. We'll call him Mike just because we can. Mike, aren't they great?
They're wonderful. And by the way, I think you probably owe them a treat for knowing the
Definitely.
Oh, I
the opening
agree.
song. Most people don't get that, you know.
You
Unless-
even made
unless
a
you
promise.
snitch.
Well, I may have coached them a little bit
Just a
before the show.
little. You got it. So, ladies, I know a couple months ago you were kind of a little bit lost. What's your future? Both of you. We only have a few minutes, but what's your future?
Okay. I know I've always wanted to be an athletic trainer of some sort.
Right.
I really like that field, but like if I want to get into my money, I want to be an anesthesiologist.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm interested in all that.
So you wouldn't mind like being a personal trainer kind of deal.
Yeah,
And
I'm good at it. I did it in the ranch. I tell those boys how to work out.
Yes, she did.
I really did.
I bet you did.
I
mean,
did.
You're in great shape. You obviously work out. That's very cool. Very good. So you got some really good goals, and you know what? Without that pot and anything to get in your way, you can do anything you want to do.
Exactly.
You can go anywhere you want to go. You really can, and I have no doubt you'll make it.
I'm really hoping I will.
Stay with your goal. Focus on your goal, and let all that other stuff go away. Very cool.
Well, I really enjoy working with kids. I've been babysitting for a long time. So, I love like babies and everything. Like
They're cool, aren't they?
Yeah,
I
and
have
like
to
younger
admit it.
kids, like I love their imagination and all that stuff. Like they're so like young and innocent. It's really cool. And but yeah, like I really want to further my future and like take steps towards like having a career in that field, working with kids, or maybe even like something like this,
Like
how
a
you
teacher
do.
or counselor or something
Yeah,
like that.
like
And you know
counseling.
what's cool?
Counselor?
You know what's cool about that?
I might
is
have to
that
hire her then, huh?
When you have a real heart for that, imagine the impact you can have on those children's lives.
Absolutely.
And you know what? Unfortunately, there's not enough heroes in this country, in this world right now. Every time you think you got a hero, they're going in rehab or getting arrested or something like that. So I like your guys' goals. Are really neat. And, you know, don't let anything get in your way. I mean, seriously. I always say, you know what? Get done what you got to do now. And later on, you can do whatever you want to do for fun, but get your goals, figure it out, and get there. If you kind of know where you want to go, you'll get there. If you have no clue, you're going to be hunting and searching forever. So you guys got some goals. Stay with them.
And don't let anybody tell you that, oh, you can't do that, that's too hard, or that's this, or that's that. Don't. If that's where your heart is, you go for it. Don't listen to the naysayers.
And I just got a text message from Stephanie Weiss. Remember? Yeah, Stephanie. She actually
I was
helped
just talking to her
produce
this
the show. I
morning.
know I need to call her today. Oops, I love you, Steph. But she was saying that you guys are wonderful and courageous for telling your story. And I got a bunch of other text messages, but that's the one I want to talk about. You are courageous and very powerful. And I can promise you that what you did today helped somebody.
I hope so.
That's the goal.
I know so. So very, very cool. Anything you want to say before we close? We have one more minute.
Just thank you guys for allowing us to be on the show and share our story. Hopefully, save someone's life today.
Very
And I
cool.
appreciate everything you've done for me, Cary.
Very cool. Sid,
I love you, Cary.
I love you too. You know that. I do, and I'm really, really proud of you. So,
It's been great.
huh?
It's been great. It's been a great journey.
Very
Keep
cool.
going.
It's not over yet. And the journey just gets better. No, really, it does. And as you do what you're doing, you get happier. And that doesn't mean that every day's going to be, peaches and cream. Some days are hard, but you're tough enough to be able to do anything you want to do right now. And I love you both, and I'm really proud of both of you. Michael, want to close it?
What a great show, Cary. I mean, we talk about the problems every week on this show, and it's wonderful to see success stories like this.
Yes, it is.
It's just wonderful. I just really can see them doing great things down the road.
Absolutely.
How much time do we have, Justin? We just
We're done.
time to go? Okay, we're out of here. Next week, same station,
Same
Families
time.
in Action on KHTS AM 1220, your hometown station.